Hey there, Dr. Scott here. We have determined the top 4 natural toothpaste. We're going to do a head-to-head comparison of each of them. And guess what? Tom's of Maine is not one of them, and we'll tell you why. Stay tuned.
Well, howdy there, folks, and welcome to the Natural Toothpaste Shootout. In a previous video, we identified 8 harmful chemicals in regular toothpaste, and I reckon that surely there must be some healthy natural toothpaste out there. Toothpaste that can clean your teeth better than a beaver can clean the bark off a tree, while simultaneously not making your gums bleed. Therefore, in an effort to serve you, the Dr. Scott audience, due diligence was paid and we researched over 30 different natural toothpaste products. After an extensive analysis, we determined the top 4, thoroughly reviewed each, and got sincere testimonials from real-world folks just like you. Our top 4 natural toothpaste contenders are Uncle Harry's, Jason Seafresh, Desert Essence Natural Tea Tree Oil and Neem, and Earthpaste. Make sure you check out each toothpaste's individual review, and most importantly, the final shootout, where we look at the top 4 toothpaste in a head-to-head comparison and then choose the ultimate winner. The best of the best, the cream of the crop, the creme de la creme, the finest natural toothpaste product in the world. Well, at least in the continental US of A. Without further ado, we now present to you the fruits of our labor.
Alright, looks like you made it to the final shootout. I'm all geared up. I don't got a cowboy hat on, but I do have cowboy boots. I'll prove it. That's right. So what prompted this was a video that I did a few weeks ago about 8 harmful ingredients in regular toothpaste. And some of us aren't very sensitive to these types of things, and so we don't notice, but they still cause damage to our gums, our teeth, and sometimes even our health. So make sure you check out that video if you haven't already. So when you're looking at natural toothpaste, most people think Tom's of Maine. Well, let me tell you that Tom's of Maine was not actually one of the final selections on the top 4 of the natural toothpaste shootout. Now, one of the main reasons is that it actually has a lot of different non-natural ingredients, but one that I really couldn't look away from was that it still contains sodium lauryl sulfate, not even the less abrasive derivatives or alternatives. So Tom's of Maine, definitely not the top natural toothpaste. So if most people who are aware of natural toothpaste are using it, they use Tom's and they think that that's fantastic. Well, I'm here to tell you that that has a lot of stuff that is still damaging your teeth, and you should be using at least one of these 4. So all 4 of these, Uncle Harry's natural toothpaste, Jason's Seafresh, Desert Essence, Tea Tree Oil and Neem, and Earthpaste. These are all free from fluoride, sodium lauryl sulfate, triclosan, PEG or polyethylene glycol, microbeads, TSPP or tetrasodium pyrophosphate, DEA or diethanolamine, and the more toxic artificial sweeteners like saccharin, Splenda or sucralose, and aspartame. So questionable ingredients. These 4, some of these have these: glycerin, silica, carrageenan, sodium cocoa sulfate, sodium cocoyl glutamate, xylitol, and stevia. So first of all, let's talk about glycerin. Glycerin, what it does is it coats the teeth, and then it doesn't allow for the remineralization of your teeth. It blocks the absorption of minerals. Your saliva is constantly bathing your teeth in minerals, and so it's blocking the remineralization of those. Now, Jason's Seafresh contains glycerin, and Desert Essence contains glycerin. The 2 that don't, Uncle Harry's and Earthpaste. So 2 points for Uncle Harry's and Earthpaste. Knock a point for Jason's and Desert Essence. Next one is silica. So silica is used as an abrasive to help clean the teeth, but it also is abrasive to the teeth. So we want to try to avoid that if we can. Jason C Fresh has silica. Knock a point for Jason C Fresh. All the other ones do not contain silica. Carrageenan. So what is carrageenan? It comes from seaweed. It's a thickener. It thickens the toothpaste. It helps kind of homogenize it, make it a nice even substance that's all pulled together. Sometimes it's used in foods and it can cause extreme GI distress and inflammation. But it's been shown to cause, even in small amounts, especially if you're sensitive, the amount of toothpaste could trigger some adverse reactions. So we want to try to avoid carrageenan if we can. Which of these top 4 contain carrageenan? Jason C Fresh does. So does Desert Essence. So knock a point off for Jason C Fresh and Desert Essence. All right, so the next 2 are going to be alternatives to sodium lauryl sulfate. And I did a lot of research into this, and you can take a look at the reviews of each of these, and they go into a little bit more detail about these ingredients and kind of the science behind them. But these are very similar to sodium lauryl sulfate, and I know one of them actually contains at least 67% sodium lauryl sulfate, even though they are allowed to call it sodium cocoa sulfate. So Desert Essence contains a sodium lauryl sulfate alternative, which may be slightly less abrasive, but it's going to be very similar. And so if you're sensitive to these, to sodium lauryl sulfate, then you may have a problem with this. And just in general, if you can find a toothpaste that doesn't contain these, that isn't an irritant to your gums, then all the better, right? So sodium cocoa sulfate, Desert Essence contains that. And then none of the other ones do. Sodium cocoyl glutamate, another derivative. That seems to be a little less harsh than the sodium cocoa sulfate, if I remember correctly. And that is contained by Jason's C Fresh. So knock a point for Desert Essence, knock a point for Jason's. So the next one is xylitol. Xylitol is a sugar alcohol. It has been shown in some research to inhibit bacteria growth and therefore prevent plaque formation. It also can be somewhat of a sweetening agent. So none of the toothpaste at Uncle Harry's, Jason's, and Desert Essence do not contain xylitol. Earthpaste does. This has, it's a consideration. If you're trying to go all natural, I would avoid the xylitol. There are some studies that kind of advise you to stay away from it. That's your choice. It's kind of a marginal, questionable ingredient, but like I said, these are questionable ingredients. Some are more important than others. The next one is stevia. Stevia is an artificial sweetener. It's from a natural source though, so if you like to be all natural, I would avoid the stevia, but it's really not going to do too much harm. Jason's C Fresh contains stevia, so that's the natural sweetener in there. So if you take a look at this, I'll post it up on the screen in digital format. You can take a look and you can see that Jason C Fresh is definitely, you can consider it out of the race. Desert Essence is next to get knocked off the list. This is just from ingredients alone. So if we're trying to go all natural, Jason C Fresh is the first to go, then Desert Essence, then Earthpaste. Uncle Harry's doesn't have any of these questionable ingredients. So as far as ingredients go, Uncle Harry's is the winner, but there's a lot of other considerations. Does it clean well? Maybe you like foam and you need to have it foamed. Does it cover and brush well? Does it have a taste? If you're really particular about a good taste throughout your brushing experience, those might be considerations that maybe Uncle Harry's doesn't fall into. Let me just do a comparison from my experience and from the volunteers that we had between all 4 of these as far as the actual brushing experience. So when we got Uncle Harry's natural toothpaste, that was very salty, kind of gross. People didn't like the flavor right up front.
It was very salty. It was hard to keep in my mouth.
It looked kind of like spackle, and it tasted almost salty when I tried it.
But it was a dense, thick consistency. It stayed on the teeth well. You were able to brush your teeth the entire 2-minute duration is what you're supposed to brush your teeth for. And it cleaned really, really well. And after you washed out that initial salty taste, it had a great mint flavor.
Once you rinse it out, your teeth feel amazing. So
right?
My teeth feel extra clean right now. So fresh. I feel I don't know.
It's interesting. It's salty at first, but it's really minty and pepperminty. But at the end, your teeth feel really smooth.
Right?
And
yeah.
I don't know, they look whiter after I brush, so I don't know, I like it.
What toothpaste do you use right now?
I use a Tom's one.
Tom's?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know, I think I might make the switch.
Earthpaste is really interesting because it has this lemon twist flavor. Most toothpastes are just some type of mint or cinnamon variation. So the lemon twist was kind of a new twist on toothpaste flavors. It didn't cover well. It dissolves very easily.
No foam. It just seemed to kind of really, I don't know, become very watery and just dissipate all the substance of the actual toothpaste. And afterwards, again, not much flavor at all. And my teeth feel fine, but it's all right.
It didn't last the full 2 minutes. It seemed like you had to add more. I felt like it took me a lot longer to try to clean and brush my teeth, and I just left my teeth feeling like it didn't clean them as well.
I didn't care much for it. It didn't foam up. It didn't have that, I didn't feel like my teeth were being cleaned. But it didn't, and my mouth doesn't feel refreshed or anything like that either.
However, on the plus side, this was the first of the natural toothpaste that I used, and I noticed that the pain in the back of my mouth went away within a few days.
But I really like the taste. I think this one and the tea one was my favorite, actually, so far. Yeah, the taste is...
What about foaming? So it doesn't matter too much for you about the foaming?
No,
Okay.
not much foam.
And your mouth feels pretty clean?
It feels really clean.
Ugh. So whenever I went back to this at work because I didn't have any other toothpaste, and immediately my mouth became very irritated and sore. My gums were very irritated for the entire day. Jason Sea Fresh, it has, probably because of the carrageenan, it's very thick and gummy, so it has good foaming action. It lasts long throughout the entire brushing experience. The flavor is decent. It has a mild spearmint flavor, and it seems to do an okay job. When you're done with it, I found that this seemed to clean well, maybe besides the Earthpaste. It foamed well, but it didn't really have a deep cleaning power. So that was a disappointment.
It kind of feels like a normal toothpaste. I wouldn't say it's anything fancy. I don't have a really strong mouth clean, but it doesn't feel dirty. It feels pretty fresh. If that was the only toothpaste I had, I'd use it all up.
Oh, I like this one. Probably because I like to see. No, I like this. This one, it was foamy, and the whole time I was brushing my teeth, it felt fresh. I liked it, and there was actually a little bit. My teeth looked a little bit whiter.
Ooh,
So
nice.
I like that. Yeah.
Okay, sounds like that from your reactions of all the ones you've done before. It sounds like that's probably your favorite.
I would step into now, yeah.
Then there's the Desert Essence. I think that this one foamed well. It's more like natural toothpaste, kind of like the Jason's. Jason's is more like your regular toothpaste as far as the consistency and flavor. Desert Essence was very much like that too, but aside from it cleaning well, I did notice when I started using this I switched from Earthpaste to this Desert Essence Natural Tea Tree Oil and Neem, I did notice that my mouth started to hurt more, to be irritated. My gums were irritated. And I think it's because out of those sodium lauryl sulfate alternatives, the Desert Essence contains the more abrasive form. So I did notice the irritation from the Desert Essence.
It was pretty good. It seemed like regular toothpaste. Super foamy, tasted like regular spearmint toothpaste. Feels pretty fresh, smooth, clean. Yeah, it seems like any major brand name.
This one was, I can say, almost the same as Colgate or other store brand regular toothpaste. I didn't really notice any difference.
Kind of bitter.
Bitter?
A little bitter. Very foamy. It's fine.
This toothpaste I actually enjoyed the freshness from the beginning, and it just had more of a natural freshness to it.
So, taking a look at all of those, for me and for at least half of the people that we had volunteer, even though this was kind of very off-putting at the beginning, it's a very odd and peculiar container. How do you get it out of there? It tastes super salty at first. You almost have to be warned. It's not horrendous, but it is like, whoa, I'm not used to brushing my teeth with like salty dirt. But this also has a wide selection of minerals that help remineralize your teeth, and there isn't the glycerin to block that remineralization as well. I gotta say, like, this Uncle Harry's was fantastic. Like, just great. If you don't mind the kind of very, very natural taste at the beginning, when you're done brushing your teeth, like, your teeth are cleaner than they've ever been before. I guarantee you. I was extremely surprised. I'm not quite sure, given the ingredients, how they pull that off. It actually contains bentonite clay, just like the Earthpaste does, but the Earthpaste, I don't know what they did to make their consistency so soluble, way too soluble. It just like breaks apart within the water in your mouth very easily. I had parts of my teeth underneath my teeth on the inside here of the bottom front of my teeth. They seem to like never be able to get clean. They never feel smooth, right? When I brush my teeth with this, they actually feel very clean and smooth, and there's just a great minty taste afterwards. I almost forgot to mention that Uncle Harry's toothpaste actually does a really good job of whitening, and some people, as you saw in the review of one of the volunteers did a review after they brushed their teeth with it, they even noticed a teeth whitening difference after their first use. I have been complimented by a few people that hadn't seen me in a month or so and commented on my teeth being so white. So I've tried all of these products for at least 2 or 3 days, but this one, Uncle Harry's, is the one that I ended up using the majority of the time since then, which has been about a month. And people have noticed that there's a whitening difference. I can tell too. So it does have some whitening action, so that's pretty cool. So make sure you take a look at the PDF and download that, so you can kind of take a look at the questionable ingredients, and also a notation of the very harmful chemicals that it is free from. They all have their pluses and minuses. Uncle Harry's is the best by far, in my opinion, hands down, both from an ingredient profile and from a performance standpoint. If I were to go for a number 2, oh man, I don't know. As far as the ingredients, Earthpaste is the most safe after that, but it has problems. You're gonna have to put a lot of toothpaste to get the clean. this cleans, Desert Essence cleans really well, but it has the problems with people who are sensitive to sodium lauryl sulfate. The tea tree oil and neem in it are great. And then the Jason C Fresh, I mean, it's Jason C Fresh is kind of like a typical toothpaste, or it seems like it, but it just doesn't clean all that great. It passes as a good toothpaste off the bat, but on further examination, it just isn't anything special. So I hope that helps you make a decision. These are 4 really great products. I think that out of the bunch, you should do Harry's or Earthpaste, but my pick, the Dr. Scott pick, is Uncle Harry's Natural Toothpaste. If you're wondering where you can get these products, they are all available on Amazon.com. That's where I purchased mine. Those are down below in the description, so just open up the description and those will be available. There's also the PDF download available at my website, drscotthealth.com. Please give this video a thumbs up and make sure you check out the other reviews, because there's more detailed information on each of the toothpastes and longer reviews of our volunteers giving their opinion on it. Thanks to everyone who volunteered and lent me their dirty mouths so we could clean them with these products. I will leave you with that. Have a fantastic day. I hope you have fantastic dental health and you get away from the Colgates, the Crest, and even the Toms of Maine, because they're really not cutting it, and your dental health will be far improved. If you start using Uncle Harry's, I guarantee that you're gonna have a better checkup when you go to the dentist next. All right, well then I guess I'll sign off here from the Natural Toothpaste Shootout. Toodaloo.
Well, thanks for watching, friend. And if you like apple pie and Chevrolet, or just clean, healthy teeth, well, please give our video an enthusiastic thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, comment below, and most importantly, have yourself an outstanding day. Much obliged to your health.